In 2015, a small group of idealists gathered in San Francisco with a mission that sounded almost heroic. Sam Altman, Elon Musk, Greg Brockman, Ilya Sutskever, and a handful of top AI researchers agreed on a core principle. Artificial general intelligence was too powerful, too dangerous, and too transformative to be controlled by a single tech giant or driven purely by corporate profit. They wanted to build something different. They founded OpenAI as a nonprofit research lab. The idea was simple, but incredibly ambitious. AI was going to become one of the most powerful technologies humanity had ever created. And if something like AGI eventually emerged, its benefits shouldn't belong to one company, one billionaire, or one government. They wanted it to benefit everyone. The promise to the public and to each other was enormous. OpenAI would conduct research openly. It would share its discoveries. It would prioritize AI safety. And most importantly, it would make sure that advanced AI was developed for the benefit of all humanity, rather than being controlled by shareholders demanding ever increasing profits. There was supposed to be a firewall between the mission and commercial interests. No quarterly earnings, no shareholders demanding growth, no billionaire deciding the future of intelligence, just research, safety, and humanity. That was the dream. But fast forward a decade, and OpenAI looks dramatically different. The company is no longer the small nonprofit research lab that existed in 2015. It has become one of the most powerful and commercially aggressive AI companies in the world. Its models are proprietary. Its most advanced systems aren't openly released. Its infrastructure requires enormous amounts of capital. And its partnerships stretch across some of the biggest corporations and investors on Earth. So, what happened? How did a company created to protect humanity from the dangers of centralized AI power become one of the most valuable and influential AI companies on the planet? The transformation started gradually, and at the center of it was Sam Altman. As OpenAI's research progressed, one brutal reality became impossible to ignore. Frontier AI is incredibly expensive. Training increasingly powerful models requires enormous computing clusters, specialized chips, massive data centers, huge quantities of electricity, and armies of engineers and researchers. The original nonprofit model was never designed to support that kind of spending. If OpenAI wanted to compete with companies like Google and eventually build systems capable of approaching AGI, it needed resources on a completely different scale. So in 2019, OpenAI created a for-profit subsidiary with a capped profit structure, and then came Microsoft. Microsoft invested billions of dollars into OpenAI and became its most important strategic partner. The logic was understandable. If humanity wanted safer and more capable AI, perhaps OpenAI needed the same resources as the corporations it was originally created to challenge. But there was a catch. Money changes organizations. The moment billions of dollars enter the room, the incentives become different. The company now had to build enormous infrastructure. It had to generate revenue. It had to compete. It had to attract the world's best researchers, and it had to keep up with rivals that were spending billions of dollars on AI. The philosophy slowly collided with reality. The organization that once emphasized openness increasingly relied on proprietary technology. Research that might once have been openly shared became strategically valuable. Models became commercial products. Access became controlled. And the word open in OpenAI began to feel increasingly complicated. Critics began asking an uncomfortable question. If the company was created to prevent AI from becoming concentrated in the hands of a few powerful corporations, why was OpenAI itself becoming so centralized? Then came the moment that exposed just how fragile the relationship between OpenAI's mission and its commercial ambitions had become. November 2023, the board of OpenAI suddenly fired Sam Altman. The announcement shocked Silicon Valley. Altman had become the public face of the AI revolution. ChatGPT had exploded into global popularity. Microsoft had invested billions, and OpenAI was being treated as one of the most important technology companies on Earth. Yet its own board had removed its CEO. The board said Altman had not been consistently candid in his communications with them, and that it no longer had confidence in his ability to continue leading the organization.